community board meeting for the community center or the community
Community.
itself? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Those ones are the worst.
I know, because it's like, so
Yawn.
we get there at 7, we kind of, Brooke and I are having to wait our turn, and so they're going through, all of these different things, and the financial lady hadn't been there for the last meeting, so there was a lot in between, and
Oh,
yeah, an hour and a half. Well, an hour, 7:38. Yeah. So it was about 45 minutes. We had to kind of sit there and listen to everything.
oh.
Yeah. Then we did our little thing, and Brooke paid the money, and
Yep.
she did put a down a deposit on her with her own check.
I remember her saying that. Yep.
So they were actually going to let us slide for this time, but she said she had the check. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's okay. Well, at least we're ready.
yeah.
At least we're
Yeah.
ready.
And what is Jason Levine's wife's name?
Paula.
I
I'm sorry?
Paula. Yeah.
Paula. Yeah.
Paula. So Paula was there. Actually, Brooke came with Paula.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think they're really excited to be connected with us.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the other thing, well, and Brooke, I think, probably mentioned it to you guys as well, was that community had a roving market.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's how Brooke got started. I think.
Yeah. So she's like, why did they quit it? So um, they weren't sure. Oh, no, the reason why was they had a committee in the in the county, and then the one guy left, and then the other lady left, and
Oh, okay.
that's why it is no longer, right?
It
So
just yeah yeah.
so the community is actually very excited about us coming in.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Good.
But
Good. Good.
there is one lady. She is the vice president, not the vice president, it's the president, and then the vice president are two. I think it's father and son, and
Hmm.
the mother, I believe. She's the one that was asking all the questions about what we were selling.
Ah. Yeah.
So
Did you feel like it was safe to say like all the stuff we were selling, or did you keep it pretty? You
yeah,
kept it. You kept it hush. Yeah.
yeah. Well, Brooke said, well, we might have some vegetables, whatever, and then she said we have our own insurance. Oh, okay,
Oh. Okay.
right,
Okay. Oh yeah. Perfect. Awesome.
right. So
So,
even if we did
yeah.
have insurance, we have our own insurance just by the way we talk, right? So
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah. Anyway, it's pretty good.
Need insurance to be able to sell milk, because otherwise, what's going to happen?
Heaven forbid. Yes.
Heaven forbid we buy milk the same way we did for tens of thousands of years before there was a piece of paper saying we were allowed to.
Well, and
Heaven forbid we consume milk that's good for us and we get healthy.
well, and
Oh,
it,
heaven forbid.
and the thing is she's of that generation that probably used to milk cows and squirt it into her mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Well,
know.
maybe she
And
go ahead.
go ahead. No, you first.
Maybe she realizes that to do that today with the Cafco cows and all the hormones and shit. No, don't do that.
Right.
It's not
Right.
healthy anymore.
Yeah, you're right. When you feed your cows shit, you're right. The milk is gonna be shit. You're gonna have to boil it clean.
Well, and the cows get mastitis and they still milk them.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very unhealthy cows nowadays.
Okay. I put up a moving average on Bitcoin dominance. And this was it's a loose idea of what we can expect. This is on, what is this? Let's see what the baseline says here. This is on a 50 bar average. So across 50 days, this line here that kind of waves back and forth, that brown line is the average of the previous 50 days of Bitcoin dominance. And you can see how that line has provided support and resistance in the past. So by checking that, we can get an idea of what's just happened here over the last couple of weeks that we've been talking about Bitcoin dominance being that measure of what should we do when Cardano comes back up, or what should we do when Ethereum comes back up? Do we sell and wait for lower prices, or do we go ahead and keep holding on? And it all, I believe... Oh, yes.
Yeah, can you share your screen? Thank you.
Thank you for that. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. There we go.
I can see it better because I'm on my phone.
Of course, yeah. So, yeah, and Cardano went up. Cardano being that barometer that we're looking at. Now, I drew this line out there back in beginning of November, saying if we do go below this line, we'll probably come back up and retest it. And when we retest it, we want to check to see whether or not Bitcoin dominance is going up or down, because that will help give us an idea of whether or not more money is going into the altcoins. Yeah, sure, altcoins are going up, but are they accelerating? Are they gaining dominance against Bitcoin while they're doing that? Because if not, then we can expect Bitcoin to continue its dominance, and the altcoins will continue to recede. Now, at this time, while Cardano has been going up over the last couple of days, Bitcoin dominance has been dropping. And Bitcoin itself has also been rising. So everything is happening at the same time. Normally, when Bitcoin prices are going up, it's dominance that also goes up. Now, the price has been trending up during this time. Yes, we had this nice big low, and technically we're in a downtrend. But this continued coming up in price has not translated into Bitcoin dominance trending up. So with Bitcoin dominance, it's showing downward trend right now. So far, in relation to whether or not we're going to be selling here, know that we might very well be making a mistake by not selling. But with Bitcoin dominance dropping, the likelihood of us continuing to go down is going down. Notwithstanding emergency situations like what we saw with COVID, that can happen, and that may very well give us a dip simply because people are panicking and will need to get a hold of some cash. That is a typical response for the masses when they are in a state of fear. And so the price might dip down there, but it will not stay. This whole thing that we're seeing here is the new stock market. You can just consider it that way. Now, the difference between the old stock market and this stock market is that now everybody can partake in the execution of trades, and we call that micro transactions, which contribute to a whole new type of stock market that's, still basing it off of a US dollar. It's just insane to me that we're still doing that. But hey, Trump's going to save us all. So that's the first thing I wanted to cover today. Bitcoin dominance still on the rise with Cardano and the other coins coming up to recent support. We'll likely find some resistance, but we can see actually Ethereum is already pushing up past that last low. So ADA, although hasn't been pushing up against the last low, is 9 ranked 10th in all the altcoins, whereas Ethereum is ranked second above all the coins. Sorry, first on all of the altcoins. ADA, being down in the 10th position, of course hasn't reached its previous resistance, but that doesn't mean that it won't. With Ethereum leading the way, that equity will be filtering down into the other altcoins. So it's encouraging to see Ethereum getting some nice strength, going past some previous support, blowing past the resistance. We'll see how well it handles the rest of the day, and if it can get up to the purple line, probably find some, we'll probably do a retracement back to this level here, where it was, to bounce off that support. In the US markets, we've been chatting a lot about the triple top and that pattern that occurred down back here, that all of this growth, this what we call accumulation in the market, happened over a short period of time, and a shorter period of time than ever before, and it is happening again. Now, these three triple tops happened in about, I think it was like 1/2 the time. I'm not going to measure it again. Go and look at the previous videos on YouTube to get the exact measurements. And this period of time here is also very much less. But the distance going upwards is 6%. And I have this, it's a belief pattern, so it could be wrong. But I have more than enough experience doing this to know that that the elites who are manipulating all this, they don't look at the value of it in comparison to the US dollar. They look at the value in comparison of before and after in percentages. That's what they measure. They measure points, not pips. So when we look at how it went last time, from that triple top up to that crash was 8.25%. And why do I say well that's going to be similar? Well, because look at this, after the second one, it dipped 20%. Well, after the second top there, when Trump saved the day, it went down 18.6, almost 20%. You know what? It probably is 20% because I didn't actually go to the top and bottom. Look at 18.9% drop. And then it comes back up and recovers 26%. Well, it already did that. 22, 23% hitting that triple top. This distance here from the triple top going up 8.35. What are we up right now? 6.81. And we did it in a shorter period of time than the last time it was 6.81. So percentage-wise, that all-time high could very well push up another 2%. That would match what we did last time. But you can bet your boots that we are experiencing the last gas, so to speak, of this machine. Any questions? Silver pushing up all-time highs yet again. Go to the 4-hour chart. We can see that it's all happened this morning, just in the last 4 hours. Big jump pushing up against the all-time highs. You can see there we even had the little triple top that we talked about the other market analysis. But this triple top wasn't the same pattern, because that first dip was actually before the second top. And it did not go lower than the previous one. So this was a classic example of a very mild Wyckoff, where we had consolidation back and forth between this high here and this low, consolidating, and then this dip here, this went lower than the previous low, and it did not go lower than the low before that. And so it's a signature Wyckoff move, where now we're just waiting for it to continue going upwards. Sure enough, today's the day. So silver peaked out at $60.59 already. In Canadian dollars, that equates to 83.94 spot. Oh, man, this is amazing. Gold consolidating. Still not rising. In fact, I'm surprised by that as well. I would have expected, you can see where I made the mark there, I would have expected it to come back and retest this old pivot point here. That trend line would have, it could still be hit, but I expected that because typically speaking, we haven't been seeing gold consolidate that much lately. You know, over the past while here, there was some consolidation here back in June. We haven't seen consolidation for a while, and silver's not consolidating. So it's an interesting comparison here. Silver is gaining on gold quickly. Any questions about that? It did get more expensive to get Bitcoin if you were to buy it with gold over the last couple of days. Actually, no, it was just in the last little while. Bitcoin's price would have affected that. Oh, no, that's not Bitcoin. There it is. So you can see Bitcoin's price jumping up contributed to the amount of gold necessary to get the Bitcoin because gold stayed still. Ethereum, big jump today where it takes a lot more Bitcoin to get Ethereum than it did before. And I say a lot. 4%. 4% more Bitcoin to get the same amount of Ethereum. That just means that Bitcoin accelerated. Yeah, that's a lot. 5% in the last 3 hours, 4 hours. Now, it's done that before. You can see that type of movement has occurred before. Probably find some resistance here. We might even come back down, test that long-term trend line. We'll see it as it unfolds here this week. That's the 2-hour chart. I like going in. You can see what happens over, this low here. That was just on the 21st. You can see how the price action really looks the same as if we were on the daily chart. It's just in shorter spurts, shorter time frames. Questions? Comments? Might be a short market analysis because my website, I don't know, I still can't figure out what happened. Everybody on the front end cannot see my site, but then when I go into the back end, everything is perfect. Everything's fine, exactly where it ought to be. So I'm not sure. It could very well be a censorship thing. Except down in the States, they can't see it either. So that tells me something's wrong, and it just lights a fire under my butt to finish my project so that now I'm on the decentralized web instead of centralized. Well, if there's nothing else, that was a good 20 minutes. Any questions? Okay. Have a good rest of the day.
You too.
Talk to you later.